Hey guys, I'm Blood007 here, bringing you guys another commentary. We are playing Detroit Hardcore Dom today. I know that I was gonna start to do Shadow of Mordor, and today's normally the day I bring you guys a Exo Zombies video, but because of the recent patch, I have to let you guys know about the patch and everything that happened in there. And that's kind of important. So yesterday there was a patch that took place, and basically there was a shit ton of stuff added. Holy shit, there was so much added. It was insane. So to start off with, there was one DLC weapon I added for those of you who have the season pass. That gun specifically is called the Ohm. Now it's basically a mixture of it's technically a light weapon, or a heavy machine gun weapon, but it's basically a mixture between a shotgun and a LMG. So there's two different variants of them. I'll have a picture of it up on the screen, or maybe I already did have a picture of it on the screen. I don't know quite yet. But basically, there's two different forms, There's two different types. You can variants. There's a regular, and then there's the werewolf. Both of them are very good. The shotgun's not all that good. I mean, it's kind of good, but it's not super good. But the LMG itself is just insanely overpowered, I think. But hey, what are you gonna do? And I think that it's a great gun for those who really, are good with energy-based weapons. It's not a completely energy-based weapon, but you do have to reload it. And now another thing that was added in was the buying supply drops. Now the supply drops you can buy they're good. You can only buy a certain amount for now until like a couple months in, and then they'll start to do it where you can buy however much you want. You can buy them in sets of 1, 3, or 10. And each one comes with each one comes with 3 items total, so you'll never get gypped out on that. And they're called advanced supply drops, and you get one good weapon of professional or higher, and 2 other basically pieces of armor. And there's 3 different types of armors, like loadouts, that were added that you can only get from supply drops, and they're called Whiteout, Eco, and Believer. Believer's pretty cool. So is Eco. Eco is like you're basically a tree. You're like a plant. It's like a plant exo, and it's pretty sick. It's so cool, actually. And then there's the Whiteout. The helmet of it's pretty cool. Don't really like the other stuff, but yeah, there's that. Next is Master Prestige, was just released. Now if you are a Master Prestige, then you already are like the highest you can get. I released a video yesterday going over everything that it's about, but basically that whole thing was implemented in the game yesterday. I'll link a video of this in the description below if you want to see it, and it goes over everything, basically, just everything. Next thing was added, there's 3 new supply drop crates, like challenge crates, added into the game, so you can have a little more variation. You don't always have to do the same challenges, supply drop challenges, every single time. Another thing was to happen was there were some new matchmaking and connection improvements. So I know me and my clan have a lot of trouble getting into the same fucking game, which really pisses me off. But now we don't have to have as much trouble with that because there was just a new update, and hopefully that helps out. Another thing that was added in was there was spawn changes based on the type of game you were playing. So you're not going to get as much spawn trapped as you normally would do, but more than likely, eventually you'll get spawn trapped. People will figure it out. And another thing that was added in was there's now a wait time if you quit a ranked play session. Like if you were me and you've seen one of my other my search and destroy video where I was the only one, me and some other guy were the only ones left in there, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When it pisses me off when everyone leaves and I ended up losing that game. But yeah, it just, especially when there's guys that are like way better than you. But now there's gonna be a wait time. For if you quit, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can start playing again. So hopefully that stops people from quitting. I know people are still going to quit, but hey, maybe this will stop that happening. There was now a pause button implemented into zombies, which is so much better because now you can actually pause the fucking game if you're in single player or one player private match. So you can actually do something and you don't have to stay up for like 20 hours straight, constantly playing zombies to try to get to the highest level possible. There was some new score streak updates. One of them was the sentry gun now dies in one punch, and also you can actually cancel out or exit out of the sentry gun quicker now as well when you're holding down X. And also the XS1 laser, the one that shoots from above, that now is in the air longer. So it could be a little more OP, but you can have a laser coming down longer than normal. And now the last thing is all the new weapon balancing that's happening. So there's now an increased movement. I'll go over the class specific ones and then the gun specific ones. The first one was there's increased movement for heavy machine guns or LMGs, which is now up to 85% movement speed instead of 80 like it was, so you'll be able to move around faster and hopefully helps you out a little bit more. Next is shotguns now have not as much of a spread. They have a reduced spread when you have Gung Ho equipped with that shotgun. So maybe now it's a little bit more OP, and maybe I should be able to get some fucking kills with shotguns, because I know for me, I can't use shotguns for shit, and hopefully now it's not going to be as bad. And now the gun specific ones, the AE4 scope is now fixed. I don't know exactly what they did with that scope, but all I know is that it's fixed, so now it's not as hard to see people with that scope. Another thing that was fixed was the MK14 now has less of a recoil. It already didn't have much of a recoil to begin with, but now it has even less, so maybe that helps out. I think that they should have made it have more damage, but that's just me. Next, we have the AR-160 or ARX-160. It has an increased fire rate and an increased magazine size. So now that gun is just ridiculous. Should be a lot easier to use and hopefully helps out people a little bit more. Next, we have the AMR-9, which I really thought that we needed that to be fixed, because that thing was a piece of shit, I can tell you that for sure. The AMR-9 now has increased damage and a decreased time between bursts, so you'll be able to obviously kill people faster, and maybe it's not going to be as bad as it was. Next, we have the SN6, which has now more of a reduced recoil. After that, we have the KF5, which now has mid-range damage increase. So KFI was okay to begin with. Now I think it's gonna be a little bit better, and hopefully it is better. Next we have the S12, and it now has a increased damage and an increased fire rate, which hopefully is better, because I know in gun game you fire a entire fucking mag in the guy and sometimes he still doesn't fucking die, and that pisses me off. But hopefully it's better now. Next we have the Atlas 45 pistol. That thing is a piece of shit, and now they fixed it. Now it has an increased damage and an increased range, so maybe you'll actually be able to get some kills with it now. Because if you don't know, that's probably why Atlas lost the fucking war. So, and then we have the PDW, which now has increased damage. S12, wait, yeah, PDW has increased damage. EM3 has a reduced recoil. Lynx has a reduced recoil, which I think they need more damage to that, but that's just me. And the ASM1 has a reduced fire rate to begin with. So yeah, that's everything. Thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, check my Facebook, Twitter page out, and I will see you guys later.